You, now, you shall become one with the dark side of the Force. Well, all right. So, what do we have here? This is the Silver Crusher, or the Silver Crusher, by Artsabers. And we're looking at a LGT Saber exclusive to Artsabers. And this thing runs 15 and 1/8 inches long. And yeah, it's one big, solid, beautiful hunk of silver aluminum. Let you drink it in. There's a lot of little details in the hilt, all over the place. And this is one of those glove gang type of hilts. It's not really that coarse, but yeah, it kind of is. There's just so much going on, especially this thing right here. Even though it's all smoothed out and everything. Everything's all smoothed out. There's no sharp edges, but you know, it definitely, gloves will help when you're handling this thing. Now, let me get down here and get real close. Okay, see his claws? Now, these claws are on there firmly. And someone in the comments, they asked, "Hey, are those claws gonna come off?" And the answer is no, because this screw, there's got a screw right here, that goes in really deep, and there's a little pin. So the pin helps to keep this thing secure along with the screw, and I've had no issues with any of these claws. They do not move, and they are very, very well made. On the end of the emitter, there's 3 blade retention screws. So the blade is held in there quite firmly. And the emitter features these really amazing windows on both sides. So yeah, the emitter on this thing is just to die for. It's a clawed wonder. And then as you move down the hilt, you know, it doesn't really, other than as being aesthetically gorgeous, it doesn't really serve too much purpose, this section. It sort of sets up the natural chokehold right here. This just sort of serves as a window. You can actually put another blade retention screw in there if you want, because that's how deep the blade goes in there. Let me see. Let me get positioned. Okay. So when I purchased this, I purchased it with a just the standard Eco Smooth Swing core, but I like this hilt so much that I swapped that out with a Profi core that I bought from Dark Wolf Custom Sabers. And that core, it goes to about, let's see, where was that blade retention screw / window? There it is. So yeah, it probably stops around, somewhere in there. And then the blades make firm connection with the pins. I mean, you get that much depth, so that blade's in there firmly. Now, I have a 32-inch blade in here, so it kind of makes for a little bit of a short blade length. But I find that for dueling, this would probably be pretty decent length, for feinting and, well, not feinting, but feinting and parrying and dodging and, quick strikes and whatnot. I don't like a blade that's too long. Of course, this is a NeoPixel blade, so, you know, not really going to be dealing with this thing. Although I could, because I think these blades are kind of geared towards that these days. But anyway, I digress. Now, we get to a nice little scallop section here. That's your main grip. And then your recharge port and your ignition switch, which is backlit in red, as usual. On the back here, with this new system, what they do now is they have these two screws. And the screw on the left is the screw that kind of goes up and through the chassis, and it makes contact with the soundboard and pushes it up. Well, it's not the soundboard, it's the actual switch section of the soundboard. And it pushes it up and makes your switches come up through the holes in the hilt. And it's a new system that allows you to avoid having to have the screws here and here, which were always unsightly. And so LGT seems to be getting away from that and doing a much more aesthetically pleasing choice. And then the other screw, the one on the right, actually, you know, more or less secures the chassis. It goes into the chassis, but doesn't push on anything. The only drawback that I've found is I have a couple hilts that have this system, and I've noticed that depending on how far you want the switch to come up through the hole, on some designs it's not conducive to having it, you know, come quite this far out, which is really what it's designed for. You want it to come out only flush with the surface, but you can't really do that. It's actually gonna kind of pop out on its own and then reset back into the hole, you know, as you manipulate the saber. So that's kind of one of the drawbacks of the system, but you know, more or less it's definitely an improvement. So let's go back a bit. Now this emitter section can be removed from the handle, I believe. I'm actually going to do a cutaway and come back, and I'm going to show you everything kind of taken apart, so you know exactly what does come apart. So don't hold me to it, but I believe that comes undone. And so you got these kind of ovals on the handle. Again, it kind of gives you a bit of a tactile feel, and it doesn't really grind too much, but yeah, definitely gloves after enough you know, play with this thing. You know, it'll start to wear on your hands a little bit. And then we have the emitter, which is these are not windows or sound vents or anything, they're just picked out in black, and they have those windows on both sides. Well, windows, now I'm calling them windows. Yeah, they're windows. They're just not windows in the traditional sense. And then you've got 5 flayed out sections. It's just, I haven't seen a pommel like that before. And the thing I really like about this is there's a kind of salt and pepper shaker kind of conical end cap here. And this lets sound through, and admittedly it does sort of restrict the sound a bit, but when you remove that, the sound really does, it does pump out. So I'll demonstrate that as well. And the speaker goes to about there, so it is recessed enough with this hole that, you know, the speaker is more or less protected. And it doesn't look that bad, aesthetically speaking. So you can have it either in or out. And let me show that to you right now. Okay, so here is that conical vented section that I was telling you about. The threading on this is really nice. It's a really nice, solid, thick piece. And of course, it, you know, screws in there, and the threading, there's no binding or anything. It's very well done. So there's the pommel, and here's the chassis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away again. I'm going to screw this back on and let you see what it looks like with the pommel insert not inserted. So at this angle, you can see how much of the speaker is exposed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the saber on now, let you hear it for about a minute. I don't even know what sound font it's on, but and then I'm going to put that pommel insert back in and let you hear it again, and you can tell the difference of the volume and, you know, make your own decision of which one works best. So you can tell that the sound is definitely a lot more subdued. Now, this is going to be a separate video, but just for this video, I want to show you this blade profile. This is the Dark Wolf Custom Sabers Profi 2.2 soundboard installed in here. And this, I don't know if you can really tell, but this particular, the sound font's called Darkness. I think it's called Darkness. And it starts off as orange, and then the orange flows up the blade and becomes redder and redder until about here when it's more or less a full red. And then it proceeds to the tip of the blade. It's really quite marvelous. I'm sorry I'm showing this to you in a latest situation. I'm actually planning on doing a separate video just to demonstrate all the fonts on the there's a lot of them on the soundboard that you can get from Johnny at Custom Dark Wolf Sabers, because I'm really liking the soundboard, and it has an exclusive Wolf sound font, which is just really, really cool. So I'm going to show you this thing detached in, well, 3, 2. So the core is thoroughly ensconced in here. Yeah, it's about a good 3 inches in, and you can see how deep the NeoPixel blade goes into there. Here, this will give you an idea. I mean, that's just really substantial blade depth. That's not going anywhere. Look at that. It's exceptional. All right, so let's put this thing back together. So the balance on this thing is excellent. It's about where my middle finger is. That's about the balance point. It's a fairly lightweight hilt, but it really feels substantial in the hand, and it feels solid. I mean, this thing, it doesn't, there's no cheapness about it. It's just a thoroughly, yeah, let's not test it. Okay. It's a thoroughly well-designed hilt. The threading, Nothing has at any point come loose on me. Yeah, it's just exquisite. I really, there's not, I can't give higher praise to this particular hilt. And I honestly didn't expect to buy something this nice from Artsabers. No offense to those guys, but yeah, this thing is really exquisite. Sorry for all the creaking and popping sounds that my phone makes when I'm recording these videos. I am going to show you this thing being swung around a little bit. I would not deny you. The finish on it is great. It's got like this brushed steel finish. I mean, it's almost it's almost Saber Trio quality. Yeah, I said it. I'm not taking it back. Yeah, so there you have it. That's the Silver Crusher from Artsabers, and this is a keeper. I love this hilt. This is one that I like to play around with outside. It's made for spinning. It's made for everything. This is a general all-round full-purpose hilt. And what sold me on this thing was the claws. I'm just gonna let you look at the claws for a minute. Now the reason why I was so smitten with these claws is because it's really reminiscent of the Venom by Saberforge. But I will do a comparison at one point, probably, maybe when I do the review of the soundboard. They are different enough from those claws that they're not exact duplicates. So there is a degree of uniqueness to these claws. And I'm just going to give this a bit of a spin so you can see the whole thing. And yeah, so let me just swing this around for you a little bit, and we'll wrap this video up. Misa, do some spinning, okie day. I'm really fucking tired. If there is one thing, the length of the hilt does mean when you're choking up like I usually do, sometimes you get yourself in the gut with the pommel. So, yeah. That's why this thing tends to work a little bit better outside. Now, let's remove this pommel insert. And you can hear see. Okay, so this is the dark ray sound font. I had no idea. I think. Anyway, so yeah, this is the Silver Crusher, and for the price, for the hilt, I think it was something along the lines of 187. Totally worth every penny. With the soundboard and the NeoPixel blade from Custom Dark Wolf, I think I spent maybe like 175 on that. So you know, in the end, this ends up being pretty expensive piece of kit, but I mean, for what you get, I mean, if you're gonna spend that much money on a saber, I mean, there's a lot of sabers that you can invest in, but I think this one will probably make most people happy. Of course, that's just my opinion, for what it's worth. Anyway, that wraps up this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Please comment. Yeah, please comment, like, subscribe, and if you could show up Friday from 6 to 8 on my channel. I'm doing a live stream. We're going to talk about Ultrasabers. That'll be fun. And then everyone's going to migrate over to Mid-Ohio Jedi Order, and that's when the party's really going to begin, with a lot of drinking and a lot of fun. So tomorrow should be a good party. Everyone's going to be there, so I invite you to stop on by. So anyway, may the Force be with you, and until the next video, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see you later. Bye.